Please be seated. Distinguished guest, I would like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Budri Mulinawul, everyone. Good morning. And Nalawa, welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the University for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burruburungal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. So he enrolled his daughter, Bulungari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown gets its name. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here this morning. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now that was probably better understood in more traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws. It meant the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all. Your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community, and you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite well when we work together. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives today. See, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 250 years ago, he described the people he encountered here as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried. They were naked, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and fed their families from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, and no homelessness. Armies were unheard of, as were forts, jails, or even fences. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, which were then shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands are maintained in their natural state through fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. This is not an ideal or a dream. This is normal life for us and for the longest time. And there is no reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there's a lot more of us. However, we're a clever people and there's still much magic in the world, I like to believe. So graduands, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your life. Life is normally sweet, we are naturally happy, and usually quite good at looking after each other and the planet. I would ask that you share your gifts with the rest of us, though, and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that got you this far. Do this, and I'm confident we can put together a world we can be proud of, and a future that is worthy of our children. We can all do our bit. I'll do mine by winding up and letting you graduate. Just want to say congratulations to all of you, and all the best in our collective futures. Thank you. Yano.
Distinguished guest, I am pleased to introduce Pro-Chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor Nick Mansfield.
Thank you very much, Chris, for your words of welcome. We're here this morning to celebrate education, and it adds a great deal of significance and meaning to the event to be able to connect it with the long traditions of wisdom, education and learning that have taken place on this site for very many thousands of years. So thank you. Colleagues, guests, families and friends of our graduands, and most importantly, all our graduands. It is my distinct honour and a pleasure to welcome you here today to this graduation ceremony. I bring our graduands and their guests a special greeting from the members of our University Council, the governing body of Macquarie University. It's our hope that today is a very happy and memorable occasion for all of you. Now, I note that we have some small children here today and even a few babies, and I want you to know that they are especially welcome. I also want you to know that we don't expect young children to stay still or remain quiet through the length of a graduation ceremony. That's very much an event for families, and young children are especially welcome. So today is a milestone day. Today we celebrate the wonderful achievements of those of you about to graduate. Completing a university degree is never easy. It requires an intelligent and inquiring mind, determination and perseverance, and you've made many sacrifices along the way in pursuit of your end goal. You've worked very hard to get to this point, and you should feel proud of what you have achieved. We as a university are certainly very proud of your achievements, and I'm pleased to be able to congratulate each and every one of you. I also want to especially welcome the families, supporters and friends of our graduands here with us as invited guests. The fact that you've been invited by one of our graduands to share in one of the most important days of their lives is proof positive that you've been an important influence. So to our invited guests, congratulations and thank you for celebrating the great occasion with us. Now, our graduands mightn't realise it, but we're about to participate in one of the oldest of Europe's social rituals. If you were to pick a date, say 1500, and look to see what Western social institutions were around at that time and are still with us today, you'd find only about 60 of them, including the Roman Catholic Church, the Parliaments of England, Iceland and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons. All of the rest of the institutions that existed then and are still around now are universities. In fact, graduation ceremonies are even older than that. For more than 800 years, graduates have been donning gowns just like the ones you're wearing and participating in ceremonies very like this one. And since those earliest graduations, the ceremony has remained almost unchanged, a defining feature in the life of every university and its students around the world. Now, we all realise that Macquarie University is not one of those ancient institutions. In fact, we're only just over 50 years old. So although we're among one of the younger universities in the world, we're very proud to take part in this time-honoured ceremony today. And we all know that youth has some advantages. Macquarie is a very modern, forward and outward-looking institution. We enjoy an enviable reputation for world-leading research excellence, research engagement and impact. We're continually progressing by extending our research and teaching partnerships, course offerings and facilities. We have a proud tradition of innovation and discovery, and our pioneering approach is built upon a collaborative and connected learning community. Even though this recent couple of years has been a great challenge for all of us, it remains a very exciting time for the university amidst much change, as the vision for our remarkable campus continues to unfold. Macquarie University has over 214,000 graduates living in more than 140 countries around the world. It's very clear we're looking forward and outward, and we're on the move, and so are you. Some of the things we all value about Macquarie University, however, will never change. The friendliness, inclusiveness and approachability of our students and staff is often commented on by visitors to the university, both from Australia and internationally. And this is an inherent part of our culture. We intend that it will always remain so. Remember, you will always be welcome here at the university. Macquarie will always be a leader in learning and teaching and a leader in the accumulation of wisdom, knowledge and understanding. However, our collective journey is about building community, where we have shared values, where we share things in common, and where we care about each other, even when our points of view might diverge. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. Guests, academic and professional colleagues, and most importantly, our graduands, I offer you the warmest of welcomes to Macquarie University on this grand occasion. Just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour and pleasure to confer your degrees upon you and welcome you as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. But now it's my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker, Mr. Simon Han. Simon is an experienced chief executive and executive with a track record of successfully leading and using technology to transform business. This has been achieved across a diverse range of sectors, including professional services, small business, including his own startup, ASX-listed companies, universities, commercial arms, and a professional membership body. He has significant expertise with transformation and commercialisation in the education and professional membership sectors, where he's led innovative new approaches to learning, member services, credentialing, and associated technologies. Simon is fascinated and passionate about the impact of technology and other disruptions on the future of work, and how professions and workforces navigate this challenge by providing the career and skill development to equip them to remain relevant and prosper. Simon has worked extensively in corporate and executive education. Prior to CAANZ, Simon led Deakin Co, the corporate education arm of Deakin University. It was formed from the merger of long-standing workforce capability development provider Deakin Prime with Deakin Digital, a startup that has developed a disruptive approach to higher education through the development of a micro-credentialing business. I now invite Mr. Simon Han to deliver the occasional address.
Good morning, everybody, and I'd just also like to acknowledge and thank the welcome to country. Also like to acknowledge Dr. Nick Mansfield as the Pro-Chancellor, and also the Macquarie Business School led by Professor Eric Knight, along with wonderful academics like Dr. Rahat Munir, who was kind enough to extend my invitation to talk to you today. Listening to that introduction, when I was sitting in your seats 30 years ago, I could never imagine that is how my career was going to unfold. So today I just want to share a little bit about my journey and the opportunities that a university education provided for me and some of those learnings. But it is a great honour to speak to you today on this really important occasion in your lives. And it is important because it recognises the hard work and achievement in being awarded your qualification. It's recognition of the knowledge and skills you've attained and a critical foundation to either starting or progressing your career. I do think you are a unique group. When you started your degrees, whether that was 3 years ago or a bit longer, we were already contemplating a fairly challenging future. A lot of dynamic factors at play, like the impact on the future of work, skills, jobs, changing careers, and starting to think about how we would adapt and meet those challenges and opportunities. And that seemed really significant in and of itself. And then, of course, in the last couple of years, we've had a global pandemic, which has fundamentally changed the way in which we live and work. We've had a significant amplification of the need for action on climate change and how that's informing and directing government policy, capital markets and fundamental business strategy and operations. We've got a more unstable geopolitical landscape, both close to home and globally. And we've seen a rise in people's motivation to see greater purpose in their work, career and employer, which I think is a great thing. And finally, we've had a move from the economic stability of low interest rates and inflation to an increase in both of those, but low unemployment rates, which present greater job choices for you. So out of all that, there's some great upside with the employment market. But as I said, I was standing in your shoes 30 years ago. I graduated with a combined law and commerce degree, which started me on a career pathway I certainly didn't predict at the time. But it's been incredibly rewarding and was driven from and by my university qualifications. So I'll just share a short version of my journey as an example of the opportunities that can come from a university degree and just a couple of key learnings. So for me that involved, and I'd be remiss not to mention that From university, I actually met my wife in week of first year. Now, it wasn't on the brochure that I would find my wife at university, but 23 years of marriage and 3 children, I'd say it's the thing that I probably got the most out of university, but that was very fortuitous for me. But I started my career in a small country law firm practicing law, and each of you will go out into organisations of different sizes. What I enjoyed most about working in a relatively small organisation was the diversity and a lot more responsibility. I was reflecting on what that responsibility meant, and just one quick story. I'd been there for probably about 3 or 4 months, and one of the partners at short notice said, "Oh, we need you to go to the local magistrate's court and represent a client who's applying to get a passport for one of their children, and that they're their marriage had separated." And I knew nothing about family law, but with about 20 minutes notice, Julie lobbed up in front of the magistrate and made the application, and the magistrate looked at me and said, "You know, Mr. Hand, under what section of the Family Law Act are you relying to make this application?" And I had no idea. And standing there in a court full of people, and this cultural reference might be missed by the younger people in the audience, but from the great Australian movie The Castle, I channeled Dennis Denudo and said, "Your Worship, it's the vibe." And he took pity on me and granted the application. So just to let you know, there will be moments in your career where you get faced with situations like that. Don't worry, people are there to help you and move through. But from there I moved to a city law firm, and I think that's probably where I did the most learning in my career, and it's that sort of first probably 5 years of your career. You just learn so much, and you learn from your bosses, from your co-workers, from working with clients from whatever industry it is. And I just think it's a period where you really shape your professional persona or personality, if you like. Certainly helped me shape how I approach situations, how I think, solve problems, communicate, and work with people. But that was around 2000 when the dot-com boom came along. So delusions of dot-com riches and grandeur. I started my own e-learning business, so sort of taking a punt that we could move from classroom-based training to online training. Probably don't have to tell you guys that that's pretty significant now, given what you've had in the last little while. And I do recall my mother-in-law making the comment that her daughter married a lawyer, not an entrepreneur. So that was sort of a pretty significant shift, but a risk that made a big difference in my career. And that startup that I had for 4 years was probably the most exhilarating part of my career. My wife will tell you that that was when we were starting to have children. She could tell when she was pregnant because that was about the time that the company would start to run out of money and I couldn't draw a wage. But that had a great outcome. Sold it to an ASX-listed company where I stayed for 5 years and got to learn all about how bigger companies and resources can really help shape and grow a business. From there, as mentioned, I went to be CEO of the corporate education arm of a university. And that really opened my eyes. My experience of university has probably been a lot like yours. It's as a student. But engaging in university, you understand the public good and contribution to community and society that universities make. And I just echo Nick's comments. Stay engaged with the university. Stay engaged as an active part of the alumni, because the universities are an incredibly important contributor to society. And then I ended up at Chartered Accountants, which is the professional membership body. So for all of you graduating from finance and accounting, I hope to see you in about a year or two's time joining the CA program and becoming Chartered Accountants. But throughout this, I suppose my journey was underpinned around consistent learning and experience and building really strong and lasting relationships. Although throughout my career, opportunities to engage also in my professional community, so industry associations, advisory boards, networking opportunities, you'll always get more out of that than you give. And I, again, just encourage you to engage with your profession. So to sum up, what have I learnt? And I've got 6 things I've listed, and I'll keep them brief, but just really important that you do something that you love. And that's not to say that you won't have elements of your job that aren't tough, and you won't have days that aren't more difficult than others. But if you wake up in the morning and you're dreading going to work, time to find another job. The second one is be a continuous learner. Just remain curious, ask questions, learn from others. Jobs are changing. The skills you need are going to keep changing. So to stay relevant, stay ahead, just keep that engagement in your professional development. Take opportunities, even if they weren't the ones that you may have considered. Take a considered risk, and I think you'll see great rewards. I've also thought it's always really important to keep perspective. There are people in the community that have jobs that involve saving lives, but most of us don't. At the end of the day, I educate accountants. Things go wrong, but whatever crisis comes, these things can be resolved. So I think sometimes people can feel under significant pressure and stress, and it's important that we just keep perspective about what we're doing. The fifth one is around respecting others and building authentic relationships. And I can genuinely say I've got to where I have in my career because I've built strong and lasting relationships based on respect and trust. And I, again, just encourage you that it's really important to make those relationships and keep them. And the final one is acting with integrity. And one of the investors in my startup and sort of a mentor of mine, a guy called John Goulet, he made this comment to me. He said, look, being ethical in and of itself is the right thing to do, but it also produces good business outcomes. And that's something that's really stuck with me and just provided a great compass and frame for me in terms of how I engage. So look, I commend you on the resilience that you've shown. Everyone's COVID experience has been different. I've observed my own children's university experience over the last 2 years and regret that perhaps you haven't had the on-campus experience that many of us have had in the past. But I think that will add to your resilience. And as I said, on the positive side, it's never been a better time to get a job. The employment market is red hot for talented, smart graduates like yourselves. So just like to finally wrap up by saying this is also a day for the graduates to acknowledge and thank your families and support people for their role in getting you here today. It's an achievement you should be proud of, but it's also an achievement you should share. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Simon, for that address. It really contributes a lot to the ceremony. Thank you. As Pro-Chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees on those who've complied with the university's requirements for awards. I now call on our Acting Registrar, Dr. Belinda Tiffin, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for awards.
Pro-Chancellor, I certify that all of the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority as Pro-Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Congratulations.
Graduates, please be seated. Pro-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Macquarie Business School. I now call on Professor Rahat Munir, Head of the Department of Accounting and Corporate Governance at the Macquarie Business School, to present the graduates. Professor Munir.
Good morning. Pro-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from Macquarie Business School. Macquarie Business School represents the modern vision of the long history at this university of teaching the next generation of leaders in the field of economics, finance, actuarial sciences, business analytics, marketing, management, and accounting. Our school prides itself on a simple and singular focus: you at the power of us. The great economist and philosopher Amartya Sen, winner of 1998 Nobel Prize in Economics, once said that true liberty is to have the freedom to live the life one has reason to value. So it follows that our true purpose at Macquarie Business School is to empower our students to lead lives they have reason to value, and we give them both feet and wings. Feet in the foundation training of mathematics, philosophy, recasts in the modern disciplines of management, economics, marketing, and beyond. And wings so that they find inspirations in the grand problems of our times and have the ability to fly high and high. I have every confidence that each of the graduates present here who sits before us today will rise to and join the highest echelon of leadership in Australia and within our region. Sitting amongst us are tomorrow's CEOs, CFOs, and chief executives at the senior positions, member parliaments, entrepreneurs, public administrators, not-for-profit leaders, and perhaps even future academics sitting here in a few years. So as you leave this place as a graduate, I want you to remember this most important question as a Macquarie University graduate. Macquarie University is a public university committed to the public good. Therefore, when a difficult ethical, social challenge comes your way, the question you must ask yourself is, how will I serve? Pro-Chancellor, I am proud to present to you the graduates from Macquarie Business School whom you have admitted to degrees. Pro-Chancellors, including amongst the graduates today, is the posthumous award of Bachelor of Professional Accounting is Luke Gardoni. Luke, and we acknowledge his family here today. We celebrate Luke's achievements as his cohort graduate today. Pro-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Macquarie Business School whom you have admitted to the degrees or awards of diploma. So I present the students admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts with a degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Angus Middleton. Emily Ogden. Madeline Thomas. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce with a degree of Bachelor of Science. Michael Dimorsky. Lina Wang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Arts. April Agarop. Anosh Cyrus. Adele Gilani. Muhammad Moinuddin. Matthew Robinson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Elizabeth Duff. Jordan Greff Anator. Jenny Nguyen. Tara Samuel. Shirley Tan. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce, Professional Accounting. Sam Ra Ong, Earn Cha Ta Kot. Yeah, I butchered that. Jean-Trey David. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Marketing and Media. Shireen Absalom. Nathan Ambler. Fiona Bat. Nicola Bourgeois. Ariel Cook. Madison Cooks. Jessica Dentus. Yanandu Prez. Joshua Duffersey. Gabriel Edwards. Matthew Evans. Rebecca Forrest. Jaida Galvin. Sakina Javed. Angeline Corey. Ali Christelius. Madison Ladger. Alicia Leong. Jani Leos. Isabella McNerma. Gabriel Mansou. Lily McCarthy. Liana Milaro. Laim Nasser. Jennifer Nguyen. Christy North. T. Nob Khan Fan. Which one? That's the one.
Yeah, just go to that one. I'm not sure.
Okay. That's good to go on. Your turn. All right, so. Angelisa Pirotta. Adelaide Sinclair. Samantha Tauber. Sonia Tai. Davina Chai. Chanel Wardini. Christy Wilkinson. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting Professional with a degree of Master of Commerce. Shirzum Sayeda. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting. Tomoki Akiyama. Damiloa Ofu Mara Albarabo. Ashik Mahmood and Leap. Anthony Animaku. Monira Yatunde. Judo Chen. Pujita Chintala Pati. Crystal Joy Khan. Makul Grobo. Bipin Gurung. Muhammad Nabiar Hussain. Ishka Ingnam. Muhammad Samid Khan. Anish Maharajan. Rushda Sajid Pansuri. Twinkle Morrison. Ifa Mustafa. Mary Abiola. Michi Shin. Tarian Chin. Prashita Rana. Manshur Ridwan. Prakash Sharma. Imran Ahmed Syed. Nazia Tasneem. Pranisha Thapa. Shin Tong. Tyler Ria Pereira. Shin Shu. Shin Ru Zhang. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting Advanced. Jinji Liu. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting Professional, Zohaib Rabani. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Accounting and Leadership, Rizhing Zhang. I present the graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Advanced Professional Accounting, Maitat Keri T. Chiang Dam Rong. Yanti Melenberg. Yu Liha Tara Eng Lu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Commerce. Lavina Anchula. Maisha Arba Ahmed. Puresa Pavel. Ma Patricia Ranica. Sameshka Dilip Chopade. Priyank Chaudhary. Sandra Escobar Ramirez. Sabrina Islam. Jian Lu. Be Angelica and Tu Lu. Bao Zhang Nguyen. Chi Bao Chan Nguyen. Akshit Pundir. Fariha Haq Rashna. Fuad Hassan Haq Ratu. Kandukar Shifa. Mala John Ding Kong Soriano. Arika Lithia Trinidad. Jonathan Vijaya. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Marketing. Olchin, Claire Olchin. And Claire has been awarded the Macquarie University Award for Academic Excellence. Alexandra Carey White. Jojo Giaro Brittany Gann. Anita Gopal. Chomasina Enje Yare. Priya Jongpu. Brianna Menat. Nako Sato. Daintra Susilio. Tanisha Tandon. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Professional Accounting. Algrace Pedoyle and Baron Da. Svetlana Belchenko. Ikchimeng Bojan Jargo. Cheng Shi. Caroline Cha Wano. Bernadette de Castro. Dominic Mary Dobles. Dominic has been awarded Macquarie University's Award for Academic Excellence. Zilong He. Mandira Karel. Karel Frederick Karel. Tian Lin Lee. Hu Nian Ying. Darren Unch. Julie Ann Perez. S.K. Farhan Rahman. Vidya Shankar Magnati Chandilja. Ashley Ka Tang Shin. Pramita Singh. Ranjita Somo. Hong Fei Wang. Rachel Ann Jabut. Chinro Zhang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Master of Professional Accounting and Leadership. Ananya Chowdhury. Jambal Suran, Dochin Dori. Pro-Chancellor, a higher degree by research is awarded to a graduate who has successfully completed a program of study in which the defining characteristic is research. A Master of Research is a 2-year full-time equivalent research training degree consisting of research-based coursework, postgraduate research training, and a major research project. Graduates have focused on a specific research topic to produce a thesis up to 20,000 words in preparation for a doctoral degree. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Research. Shirchi Zhong, for a thesis entitled Client Identification, Professional Identification, Social Bond with the Work Associated, How They Influence Auditors' Fair Value Materiality Judgment. Doctor of Philosophy is awarded to graduates who have demonstrated the capacity to conduct research independently by forming a distinct contribution to the knowledge of the subject and to afford evidence of coherence and rationality shown either by the discovery of new facts or by exercises of independence, critical power. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy. Tiran Kim Huang, for the thesis entitled The Effect of the Bond of Board on Firm Behavior and Dynamic Capability Perspective. Dr. Free. Dr. Simon Andrew Segal, for a thesis entitled Understanding and Managing Dynamic Stakeholder Relationship Around Merger and Acquisitions. Dr. Simon. Dr. Mona Walina Tabani for the thesis entitled Examining the Interaction Between the Physical Environment and Personal Factors in the Development of Flow, Cultivating Consumers' Relationship in Mobile Application Over Time. Dr. Mona. Dr. Sung Jung Jung for the thesis entitled The Effect of Competitiveness on Performance, Investigating Incidents and Consequences of Employees' Competitiveness. Dr. Sung Jung. Pro-Chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Macquarie Business School.
Pro-Chancellor, I call on Ms. Maria Patricia Renica Callawag, who graduated with a Master of Commerce, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Ms. Callawag.
Good morning, Pro-Chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates, and guests. I am honored to stand here and speak on behalf of the graduates on this special day. I congratulate my fellow graduates for achieving such an amazing milestone. I also would like to express our deep gratitude and love to our friends and family, the solid driving force that supported and pushed us to come this far. Like some of you today, I started my master's in 2019 as an international student. I was excited, nervous, full of optimism, and I was resolved to perform well. I spent hours working on my essays and research papers, even attending writing sessions suggested by our professor. I was fairly confident when I submitted that first essay. I was thinking that was at least a distinction. It came back with a pass. My other papers for the first semester pretty much had the same results. However, it didn't mean that I wasn't smart or that I didn't work hard enough. It meant I had a lot of room to grow and learn. And wasn't this the point of us pursuing a higher education? The point was to challenge ourselves and to become better versions of ourselves. The pandemic hit in early 2020. All classes transitioned to online sessions and remained that way for most until 2021. The optimism I felt during my first semester was quickly fading. Weeks turned to months of uncertainty. It was not just the academic issues, but we also had our own personal concerns, our health and safety, being away from family, unable to see them due to border closures, and losing jobs, among other things. Everyone here today must have felt a version or a combination of these at some point. In spite of the limitations and challenges, Macquarie University provided us with constant support and direction. I am grateful that I had dedicated professors and eager classmates who made the Zoom sessions as interactive and educational as we could make it. Nevertheless, it was still a relief that some classes in my final semester were offered with face-to-face schedules. I was privileged to have excellent educators and peers who pushed me to do well and demanded nothing less than my best in my 2 years with the university. In case you were wondering, my papers did get better, and so did my marks. We who experienced their academic years in the pandemic were thrust into unfamiliar territory, and we've come out better because of it. We maximized what we could and utilized the resources available to us and made the best out of the situation. It made us resilient, able to adapt when the time challenges us to do so. We showed grit amidst that uncertainty then, and we will continue to do so as we make the steps outside of the university. To my fellow graduates, I hope we let this moment stay with us. Let us allow ourselves to revel in the fact that we've faced uncertainty and come out of the experience successfully. Today is a testament to this. We have proven ourselves more capable than we thought, so that if you doubt yourself at some point in the future, you'll have this feeling to hold on to. You can remember that there was a time when you were unsure, uncertain, and unfamiliar, but you found a way to make sense of it. So who's to say there's nothing out there that we cannot conquer? Thank you.
Thanks very much for those words, Patricia. I think it helps us get an understanding of what it's been like being a student in the last few years, and also to remind our graduates how much they've achieved in that time. And congratulations to you too, again. That was Ms. Vivian McLaren. Would you please join me again in thanking her for that wondrous performance? Please also join me in thanking our musicians. On the organ, Heather Moen-Boyd. And on the trumpet, Mr. Bruce Helmers. I'd also like to take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank representatives from our alumni community who've come today to help celebrate the occasion. Graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it certainly doesn't represent the end of your association with us. From today onwards, you're now part of the bigger Macquarie family. Our alumni network, which, as I mentioned earlier, has over 200,000 members living in more than 140 countries around the globe, now welcomes you to its fold. We look forward to seeing you again back on campus, attending alumni events, undertaking further study, or simply to visit the beautiful campus and reminisce about the times you spent here as a Macquarie University student. Graduates, the award of a university degree comes with opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it also contains responsibilities. We urge you to commit to lifelong learning and inquiry. We urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. We urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you this far. And remember, the world is not only changed by the great leaps forward made by an Albert Einstein or a Marie Curie, but by the many contributions, small and large, of people just like you. At Macquarie, we pride ourselves on developing each and every one of our students into engaged community citizens and leaders. So we urge you to always give thought to what you can do for others along the way. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a real difference to someone's life. Sometimes a small gesture or a kind word can mean an enormous amount. We challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and to always be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet on life's journey. Our hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you've learned here not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of our community. And in all you do, we charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. It's also our hope that you'll always remember the people who've helped you along the way, many of whom are here with us this morning. So to acknowledge their contribution and thank them for it, I'm going to ask you to do a couple of things. First, I'd like all our new graduates to please stand. Now, I want you to place your testamers on your seats behind you and turn around to face your families and friends. And now I invite you to give them a mighty round of applause. Now you can turn around now, but don't sit down, don't sit down. Here on the dais with me are representatives of our academic staff who've supported and led you throughout your journey, so please join me in thanking them. Okay, graduates, please remain standing. Do pick up your testamers, you don't want to leave them behind. The official party will soon leave the graduation hall, followed by the graduates. As we do, our organist will play the traditional recessional music of graduation, which has been played at ceremonies just like this one for hundreds of years. There's an age-old set of Latin lyrics which accompanies this music, which begins, Gaudeamus igitur dum sumus juvenes. Translation, this means, therefore let us rejoice, for we will always be young. The song speaks in whimsical ways of youth and old age at the same time, of the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of the state and city and of happiness. Again, to our newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for futures filled with success, satisfaction, and above all, with happiness. Now might I ask everybody to please stand. Shortly, I will lead the official party out to be followed by the graduates. I then invite you to follow the graduates out of the graduation hall and enjoy some light refreshments outside. So in closing today's wonderful ceremony and celebration of your achievements, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, therefore let us rejoice.